And hey, how you doing? This is Med with Shots from the Sidelines, and I don't have Seth, and Isaac had to put up a trampoline, so that's why he's not here right at this moment. But you know what? You got the three amigos. You got myself. Gentlemen, introduce yourselves.
Yes, I'm Lincoln from American Football Network. Just recently joined the Podcast Boys Network. Glad to be over here with these guys. Been a fun time already doing a lot of mock drafts, trying to get all these divisions done. So today we're doing the AFC North, and I'll let Rickley from the Football Expert go and introduce himself.
Yeah, same goes for me, but this is my first time on the Podcast Boys Network, so I'm excited to be able to start this and be able to get this going and see where this goes.
And I, of course, y'all have seen my face a couple times with the Podcast Boys. I am Ed, co-chair of the Podcast Boys Network. And Isaac, his kiddo had a birthday today, so that's why he's not joining us today. We got 7 people. So if y'all want to actually comment on us, and if y'all have an idea with who the Cleveland Browns would pick up, or you want to critique what we're doing, I am all good for that. Myself, I will be taking the Steelers. Who got the Bengals?
I have the Bengals.
And so Link has the Ravens, and we're going to go ahead and get started. 7 rounds, gentlemen. Let's do this. It's going to be set up on fast, so it's going to be really quick. Here we go. Boom. All right. Bengals, you're up. You got 2 trade offers. For the 18th pick, you got Carolina wanting it for a 33, a 65, and next year's 4th round.
You can reject that one. I'm not going to be taking that one. This one's a little bit more interesting. If you want to hide that one for a second, let's look at offensive tackle here.
Okay.
See where. Okay, not anybody particularly. So, really, one of the things that I find interesting about the Bengals is it kind of depends on like what you do with free agency, whether you bring back T. Higgins, who I assume they're going to bring back. I assume if you don't sign him to a deal, you'll franchise tag him. But let's look at the cornerback position here real quick, see who's available. I haven't done too many deep dives into the cornerbacks that are in this draft, but what I have seen is that I have seen a lot of tape on Nate Wiggins and Kool-Aid McKinstry. I don't know if you guys have looked a lot into, I think it's Quinyon Mitchell, but what I did see out of him was an excellent Senior Bowl performance. I like his measurables. I think that he's a good overall player. And even though it does concern me a little bit that he is out of a smaller conference, I don't think he hasn't really played like super top-notch wide receivers week in and week out. I do think that he has the ability, like it says in that description, to be able to have that ability to be able to have that quick twitch, that moving around and stuff like that. So even though I would be interested in making a move back, I really like Mitchell as a prospect from what I've seen about him. So I'm going to take Mitchell with this pick.
All right. So, Quinyon Mitchell. All right, so now I'm coming up, and I have 1 trade offer, and I mean, this is a good one because I'm getting 2 first-round picks because I know what I kind of want. I'm going to go ahead and take this offer, get Pittsburgh an extra pick for next year, and that's my go again. Let me see what I got. All right, no. All right, so I'm going to actually take the extra pick, the 123, go down 1 more, and then I'm going to reject this one for the sake of this. And me personally, Link can tell you I draft a lot for need, and I draft a lot for what my defense is. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers have a 3-4 defense, and Cameron Hayward is actually getting up there in age right now. In fact, last year he only played 11 games. So what I'm going to be looking at is defensive tackle. And what I want, even though it's kind of a reach, I want size. Brayon Murphy 2 is a really good, solid defensive tackle, really quick, but he fits more of a 4-3, as does Leonard Taylor. So I like Tre'Davious Sweat, a little bit of a reach, but he has 340 pounds and 6'3". So I'll go with that.
I like it. Yeah, not only does Med draft a lot for need, but he loves taking those trade offers as well.
I like to build.
So I don't want that one. We'll look at the next one.
Okay.
Yeah, not feeling that one either.
Reject. That's a lot,
And
but still.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like Baltimore, they need a first round.
No, I agree.
And yeah, not that one either. So with this one, I'm gonna look at wide receiver here
right.
first, personally, for them. And yep, he's there, the guy who I think is gonna be a good receiver. Good size, good speed, good length out there on the outside. And that's AD Mitchell, the wide receiver from Texas. You look at the Baltimore Ravens, and they got Zay Flowers. He's a little bit of a smaller guy. They need another receiver to go across from him to really build on that. You cannot be in 2024 having OBJ as your second option at wide receiver. And so, yeah, I feel like they really need a wide receiver here. I'm going with AD Mitchell.
I like that.
I think Lad McConkey might end up going higher. He might be a little bit better, but he doesn't have the size like Mitchell does. He fits more the Zay Flowers type role.
No, and I agree with that too. I mean, I know that he's kind of reached a cult status because I live like 20 minutes away from Savannah, Georgia. I'm still in South Carolina, but if you would actually see all the Georgia Bulldog fans I have to actually put up with and everything, they love this guy. And it's unreal. So,
yeah.
All right.
So with this trade offer, I am going to reject it on one ground. I think it's a little bit unrealistic. I think getting what I think is a fifth, is that 2 fifths or a fifth and a sixth? Like, I'm trying to tell value wise what the 2 picks this year are. I think that's a fifth.
I think it is a fifth and a sixth. It's basically looking at something for the future.
Yeah.
With them offering you this trade, that leads me to wonder, whenever you decline it, look at QBs. That makes me think either JJ McCarthy or Bo Nix is available.
Yeah, because I just feel like a second round pick, a third round pick, a fourth round pick, and then a fifth and a sixth this year, that just seems a little bit unrealistic. So I'll reject it on those grounds. If maybe you didn't give me a third next year, I would consider it a little bit fair. Penix is there.
Must be going for Penix.
So, okay. So even though this is going to probably make some Bengals fans mad, because this isn't need. This isn't need at all, really. But I am going to take Darius Robinson, the edge rusher, out of Missouri. I just think that this is a guy that just simply has the build to be able to play both inside and outside when it comes to the Bengals defensive front. I think that he has a lot of skill set to be able to translate into the NFL. And I wouldn't say like he's a non-bust prospect, but I think that he's someone that has the skill set and is going to probably have a very high RAS score whenever those come out after the combine. He's a guy that I think is just a freak athlete, played really well at Missouri this past year, but really had 2 good years at Missouri, even though his 2 years ago, he was a little bit underrated. I think that he's a guy that has a lot of ability inside and outside. So,
and he just, with his body size and everything, I love that size. 6'5", 291. That's nice.
Yeah.
So Darius Robinson, that's a good pick. All right. Reject. Even though it had a first and second, kind of what you just said, kind of your not really realistic. And I see what I need. I see what I want. I see Michael Penix Jr. And I know that it's been well documented, the struggles that Pittsburgh has had this past season. They're all we talked about it earlier on Link's show, American Network Football Network. There's your plug. We talked about Justin Fields possibly going there. If I get Michael Penix Jr., he might still go there, but at least I got my future.
Yeah. So I believe this is my pick for the Browns. Is that correct?
Yeah, you had the first one.
Yeah, I actually forgot about that.
So
I did too. They popped up. I was like, "Who's the Browns?"
yeah. So click next because I'm not saying I'm going to reject that offer, but ooh,
that's nice.
Both of those are good offers. Like both of them have legit consideration. If you want to go to previous, I will. My thing with the Browns is this: they have a lot of things that they could need, but I feel like they could address those better if you get more picks. So I'm going to accept the Jags offer because I think 2 third-round picks for a second and a seventh, that's a pretty good deal.
I think the Jags want Frazier.
Probably.
Either Frazier or Taylor to help up the middle for the run defense.
Well, I noticed that they actually drafted Brian Mitchell II. So we'll see. Yeah. And right before I picked up Penix, I saw that. So.
Oh, okay. Then, yeah, I think they might be looking at Frazier then.
That's true. So quick question as we wait for your pick. JJ McCarthy, I'm starting to see a lot of people really high on him right now, and they have him rated like going as high as 11th and 12th to like Minnesota or Denver. And I personally am not really sold on him right now because I really felt that JJ McCarthy was carried by a really good defense and a great running game. What is y'all's thoughts on that?
I agree with that. But I also want to see him at the combine because I think while he was carried by that, I think with them having that elite run game, that elite defense, and just an elite offensive line, he really, and not very good receivers either. I mean, they had Roman Wilson, but outside that, they didn't really have anybody. So I really wonder with him, what can he be? What can he do when he has those kinds of things? What can he turn into? So I want to see him with that kind of play style, and just see what he can do at the combine as far as moving around and throwing the deep ball, see his arm strength because he never really got to show any of that in college, and just see what he can do before I really make a judgment on him. Right now, I think 11 would be very high for him, but then again, we may be sitting here 2 months from now thinking if this guy falls past 15, teams are crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. My opinion, I would like to point out I am biased. This is Notre Dame Stadium behind me as a puzzle. So I'm a Notre Dame fan. So I'm not the biggest JJ McCarthy fan in the world when it comes to that. But like as a prospect, he fits like the mold that you want as a quarterback. He is pretty tall. He's pretty strong. He has decent arm strength. And I just think on a general level, he has capabilities. But I do agree with Lincoln and what I think you were kind of saying a little bit. And just like he has a lot to prove. And in my opinion, it's this. I think I was about to say resting. Him taking a year off and watching the guy in front of him, maybe this is what I did with the Dallas pick when I did a Dallas mock draft. I took Bo Nix. But if Dallas were to take a JJ McCarthy, have him under Dak for a year and then put him in that situation, that could be a situation that works. Or if maybe a Cleveland were to have him fall, or Cleveland tries to trade up or something like that, which I don't think they do because of the Deshaun contract. But like generally that type of team that has that. But like if you're looking at a Minnesota where he probably is going to be the starter with, I don't know what's going on with the Kirk Cousins situation. Honestly, like I think that there's a lot of things they need to work out there. But if he's the starter day one, I think he's going to have a lot of struggles.
I like that. Yeah. All right. I just had a brain fart. Like, you're up, bud.
No, you're good. And real quick on McCarthy, I think if I don't really like player comps, but I think if I would make one for him as far as an NFL guy goes, I think he's very similar to Brock Purdy, and just the way I think he's going to come in and play. And I think if he's in a system similar to that, with the like, that's the kind of situation I see him being most successful in, where he can still, he still can lean on that run game like he did in college. But I feel like he can be that kind of guy where you don't want him to have to be out there and go lead you on a game-winning drive, but he can make throws and get you deep into the playoffs. So Brock Purdy, Jimmy G type guy. But I don't think
Mhm.
you want him going somewhere, for instance, like the Packers, where you got a bunch of young wide receivers around you. You got and if Jordan Love wasn't there and you're bringing him in to start with a bunch of young wide receivers, I think in Minnesota, I think he could come in and be solid because he has some veteran guys on that offense with him, and he's got two really good targets in Hawkinson and Justin Jefferson. So I think he could come in and be something there. But you wouldn't want him somewhere, or even like Tennessee, somewhere like that, Atlanta. You wouldn't want him going somewhere like that.
Where they're in basically a constant rebuild, and also with
Yeah,
Minnesota, they also have Addison up there as well. So I mean, like
that's
you
right.
said, those two, and then also Addison. That's a really nice thing. And I will agree with the football expert. Yeah, no, I believe that he needs to sit down for at least one more year to really learn the
Mhm.
processes and stuff like that. A lot of people are really talking about Minnesota and their quarterback issues with Kirk Cousins, of course, but a lot of names that are being thrown around right now, they're, from what I understand, from what I've heard, they're looking at a rookie quarterback. And when I saw that they were looking at JJ McCarthy, I was like, I don't know about 11. But like you said, bring in a veteran quarterback like a Russell Wilson or something like that to really nurture him for that extra year. They got the cap space, I
Mm-hmm.
think. So
Well, as long as they don't bring back Kirk Cousins, they do. So
that's true.
All right, so I'm gonna decline the Saints offer. What was the first one? Yeah, I'll
That
decline
one.
that one too, just for the sake of the draft.
Ooh,
So with Baltimore here, what does cornerback look like right now?
you're looking at corner. All right. Defense.
Um, yeah, I don't really want to take any of those guys necessarily right here. Um, you know what? I think I'm gonna go to defensive tackle. And give me Rukaroro at D tackle. He's a guy who a lot of people been talking about can sneak up into the first round. Mel Kiper was talking about he's a first round talent potentially,
Mhm.
and a lot of people talking around expect him to jump up a lot here after the combine, after he gets to really show off. And again, like you talked about with your first pick, I feel like the Ravens need size, and Leonard Taylor just hitting size. He's not gonna cut it in a defense where you need a just a big bulldozer brick wall right there in the front. And I
Mhm.
think Rook is the guy that can do that. I feel like with Baltimore on that D line, what they really need is a run stopper, and I feel like Rook is the guy to do that. And help out for that run defense. Even though it was a pretty solid run defense this year, that whole defensive line in Baltimore is getting older, and I think he could really help them out up front.
yeah. Do you guys want me to take this pick since I traded the first one, or do you guys want to take it?
You got it.
Either one. Yeah,
Okay.
you have it.
I will reject these trade offers because I see the player I want already. It is Ohio State's Michael Hall Jr. I think that he is a guy that played well at Ohio State. As it says in the draft profile, I was going to use that word, but it uses it itself. Wrecking ball. I think that he does a great job at being
Mhm.
able to disrupt the run and being able to even be a decent pass rusher. He's not going to get you like 8 to 10 sacks a season, but I do think he could get some pressures, get some stuff up the middle that is going to make that quarterback uncomfortable. And I also think that it is good that you're bringing in I don't know where he's from originally, but bringing in an Ohio State guy. I think is definitely something that I think a lot of Browns fans generally like bringing in those Ohio State guys. So I'm not even going to look at the other categories because I thought defensive tackle was one of the needs, but Michael Hall just fits right in there.
And you're up
Going back
again.
to back here.
That didn't take long. Let's see. I'll reject that one because I don't want so many future picks. That one, that one's interesting. Go to our hide the picks for a second. I may end up go to let's see who best player available is real quick.
Chris Jenkins.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm truly expecting you to go Sam Hartman at one point.
Yeah.
Don't worry, he'll get him in there.
That would fill their need for replacing AJ McCarron, who the Battlehawks just signed back. But I will say this: Tez Walker is very tempting, especially if you're going to say like you're going to lose a guy from that wide receiver core that's been so elite for so long. And
well, they're losing Tyler Boyd, are they not? And they're going to franchise tag T. Higgins.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, unless if they get a deal done with T. Higgins. So I'm going to go with Tez Walker because of his explosiveness. And if anybody remembers where Tez Walker transferred from, he actually transferred from Toledo. So he is a guy that's been from the state of Ohio. So I think that this is a guy that just has explosiveness written all over his game, as it says in the profile. I'm really liking these profiles. They're good reference points.
Yes, they are.
Like, dude went all the way up to 23 miles an hour to game. Dude is just straight explosive. Has it, like, I am not again. I agree with Lincoln that player comps are a bad idea, but like, I can't not look at this guy and say he's a little bit smaller version, like muscle wise, to DK Metcalf. Like a dude that just runs so fast, is 6'3", and he doesn't have like DK's Metcalf's, I think's weight is like almost 230 or something. But like Tez Walker, I think definitely has a body that if he built a little bit more NFL muscle into it, big body wide receiver, has speed. So I'm going to go ahead and take Tez Walker with this pick.
Oh, good, you got that up there. I was about to ask. I might forget who I've already drafted. Once we get a little bit later.
Yeah. So, okay. So right now, one of the things that the Steelers have as a mess is their offensive line. And I mean, they do have Broderick Jones. I do actually like him. I know he had a little bit of a rough year, but I do not like Rosengarten, mostly because of what happened in the title game. He had two key plays where he was caught for holding, and that really just killed any momentum that Washington had at that point. Center. I do see a guy, but not yet. So I'm going to be looking around for a second, and I see one guy there. I already got a quarterback. I believe I picked up Penix earlier. I'm going to go back over to defense. And there's one person here that I really like, and I'm staring at him right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't understand why all these mock drafts have this guy in the 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, if this was 20 years ago, this dude would go in the top 15 picks. There's just not linebacker isn't a valuable position, but this dude is going to go. I mean, he's going to go in the first 50 picks, I would imagine.
Yeah. Well, like if the Bears didn't have linebackers set, I would really like them to take a guy like Peyton Wilson. But yeah, you're set at linebacker.
Yeah. And I mean, Peyton Wilson, like you said, he's a game changer on defense. I really do like Jeremiah Trotter Jr. too. But right now, this just feels better. I think he will really fill a need as far as having a little bit of an inside stopper in there. And also with Tre'Davious Sweat taking up double teams left and right, I think that this would be the good move for me. Cleveland, you're up, and I believe G-Link.
All right. So I'll just decline all the trades. Let's see. Who have we already picked for Cleveland?
Who did I pick? I forget.
I believe you went Michael Hall. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, just making sure. So yeah, here for Cleveland, let's take a look at wide receiver. Who's available there?
Ooh, there is one guy.
I'm not a huge fan of any of these guys necessarily at 85. But if I'm looking at Jamari Thrash and Ricky Pearsall, both of them, Pearsall more than Thrash, kind of 1-year breakouts at their schools. They weren't, just elite guys for. It's not a guy that people were just looking at for all 3 years they were in college. So they do concern me a little bit with that they are, fairly new to being a star and names around. But I do think I'm going to go with Thrash. I feel like this dude is just he's extremely fast on the outside. You can do a lot of things with him. Um, I see him kind of, if you bring him in and you call the plays right for him, I see him being a guy that you can kind of call some plays for like they do with Debo Samuel out in San Francisco. You can get him on those jet sweeps. You can get him on those screen passes. He's a guy with speed who can really just make the plays, and he's got some good size on him as well, a good deep threat. And I think that's what Cleveland has really been missing, especially with Amari Cooper getting older. He doesn't really have that quick first step off the line of scrimmage to beat people deep anymore.
So you want Jamari Trash?
That's right.
I mean, Trash.
I actually agree with Med on this one. Jamari Trash.
All right, Baltimore, you're up again. Yeah, no, that's
All
your
right,
pick so far.
so I'll be looking at. Let's see who they got at cornerback still. Let's see if I can take any of these guys. I like Kalen King, the quarterback from Penn State. I think he's a good guy on the outside. He's got good ball skills. He's, very athletic. Now, his size does worry me a little bit at 5'11", 170. Like you see there, it does worry me a little bit, but we sort of saw the same thing with we sort of saw the same thing with Joey Porter Jr. They listed him as, that he was a little bit smaller as well. Some people kind of worried about that, but I'm not really worried about it as much. I think he could be a very good slot corner and even work on the outside some against some of these receivers in this division. Who was that receiver you picked up for Cincinnati? Tez Walker. I feel like he could work with him and hang with him with his speed. When you look at for Cleveland, he can hang with a guy like Elijah Moore. So I think Kalen King's a good pickup here for him.
All right, you got him. All right, so now it's my go again. Yeah, okay. So my pick with the Browns. All right, so looking at what they already got, Jamari Thrash, we got Michael Hall Jr. I'm one of those people that like defense. I've always been someone that has really been big as far as like I'm gonna check out tackle real quick, and I do like Blake Fisher. To me, and this is I coached football, so whenever you actually build a defense, you build your defense in the trenches, and you always kind of want to be able to actually have an edge rusher to help with the pass defense. Great pass defense has a good pass rush. So I'm going to look at edge real quick, and I do like Javon Solomon, but I don't know if I like him this high up right now. You already addressed a receiver. Maybe I'll go like the Bears that 1 year. Actually, you know what? Not a position of need, but kind of is at the same time because of the injury to Nick Chubb last year. And what I'm going to go with is another wrecking ball, another bruiser right here from Wisconsin, Braylon Allen, because they need someone that can actually punch the ball in. They do have Ford. They will probably not have Hunt, but this is more of an insurance pick for whatever happens to Chubb, because towards the end, Ford was fading out, and just another young guy that can carry the rock. And at 238 pounds, a lot of people are going to hate tackling him after a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can hide that trade offer for a second. If somebody is available, go to tackle real quick. Darn. I was going to pick Blake Fisher if he was there. Go to all real quickly. I just want to make sure that nobody's available that I really, really want. Yeah, I'm gonna take the trade offer. That's a lot of picks. And I think it's somewhat realistic. Probably not something that would be offered, but maybe it would be. So I'm going to go ahead and take that offer because it's 3 picks to 1.
Okay. I like it. All right. So back on offense, I still need a tackle. Let me see what I need. Tackle, Rosengarten, like I said before, I don't really care for him. I'm going to actually look at receiver real quick. I do see someone I really do like. And who I like, what pick are we at? We're at 119. I'm going to go ahead and get him. Jermaine Burton, a lot of people hate him, but I love him. Not because I'm an Alabama fan, but because he has a certain attitude that I like to see in a receiver. He has a huge chip on his shoulder. I personally like that. He actually was pretty decent last year. He had a good year this year. Bond got a lot more attention than Burton did this year. But I think with Jermaine Burton coming in, I got Penix Jr. I'm shoring up the defense right now. My offensive line is still trash, but you know what? At least I got one more playmaker. And I'm back. So now I will look at what I can do. That was quick. So I do need a center.
I'll go ahead and tell you, don't take Will Putnam.
That's not. I was gonna say it's not Putnam I'm looking at.
Nope, don't do it.
But let me see. Let me look at tackle. All right. So I really haven't been able to watch much Pac-12 as far as Utah is concerned, and I know that they had some issues of their own and everything. But at this point, I am going to look at. I'm going to butcher this name, Satoa Lomuya. Did I say that wrong? I know I did.
I'm not going to be the one that corrects.
We can't say it right, so we'll go with it.
I'm going with that.
I like that they did say in his player profile he was a run first blocker. I feel like that's what Pittsburgh needs. Mm-hmm. They're going to want to do.
Yeah. So now I'm back over here.
Up again.
Wow.
Like literally I got 3 picks. Boom, boom, boom. So Drake Nugent did pretty well actually. It's a reach though. Let me see what else I got. Let me go defense. Corner back. All right, the guy that I forgot about is gone now. But let me see. Let me see my picks. All right. I need another edge. I see a guy. I'm picking the guy. Javon Sullivan.
Dang it! I was hoping I'd get him for Baltimore. Man.
Well, I didn't expect to have like 20 picks and like 20 times in a row.
I know. I was wanting him, but I'm not gonna get him, but I'm gonna get a guy, and I'm going with 2 Clemson D linemen here. I'm going with Xavier Thomas. He's a guy who, if he wouldn't have had all the injuries and all the setbacks in college, we may be talking about this guy a first round pick after his 3rd year in college. He got COVID, and then he kind of had a setback with that back in 2020, and then he got, I believe, a foot injury last year he had to battle back from. So he's a very experienced veteran guy. He's got a lot of talent. I believe he was a 5-star coming out of high school. Very talented guy. Just had a very unfortunate that just really wasn't in any of his control. Because I remember last year he missed basically all the season. He hurt his foot 2 days. It wasn't even spring practice. It was 2 days before the season started. He hurt his foot, broke his foot, and he missed over half the season. But Xavier Thomas, man, he's just a beast. He's a huge, strong guy. He's going to be hard to stop. And I feel like I'm blanking on the edge rusher's name for Baltimore. He's old though. I know he's old. Calais Campbell. Campbell. I feel like Thomas is.
Yeah. Sorry.
I think he's older than Cam Hayward is.
He's up there with my A.
But I feel like Xavier Thomas a good guy to come in and replace him. So I'm going with Xavier Thomas there.
All right, defense, edge, Xavier Thomas. All right, you're back up.
Should I go Tyler Davis here or just draft the whole D line?
Just go for it. Why not?
Let's look at cornerback here.
All right, corner.
Let's see. All right, I don't want another corner. What's the offensive tackles look like? Probably Rosengarten's still up there.
Yeah,
And I don't want him either. Oh,
got
he's
taken.
gone. I guess somebody took him.
Someone wants to see some
I
holding
like Christian
penalties.
Jones, but that's a reach from here. What's offensive guard look like? I like Isaiah Adams, guard from
Yeah.
Illinois. I think he's a big body guy, good run blocker. Just a you see right there, 6'4", 318. He's just a huge dude.
He's a horse.
Very strong, good quick feet. I like Isaiah Adams. That's who I'm going with here for Baltimore.
I actually was looking at him. All right. All right. So
What? So we've addressed receiver, running back, defensive tackle. Let's check out linebacker. Linebacker, it's a pretty deep class.
it is.
I'm gonna. Ooh, some of these may be reaches.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like Maris Luafau and I like Tommy Eichenberg, but both of them will probably be reaches. I haven't really watched anything on Aaron Casey or even
And
Tyrese Knight.
I was about to say you're ignoring the one guy that you should be looking at.
Yeah.
I worry about with Knight though the same thing you were talking about with Mitchell earlier, in that he's coming from UTEP, but he's a guy. Gosh, they don't even have his height and weight in here.
That's why I was like, okay, how big is this guy?
But I think Tyrese Knight. I think he's he's probably the best linebacker in college football this season in terms of production.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Knight just because of what you talked about, and I watched a little bit of UTEP, but not enough to to have a full process of Knight as a player. So I'm gonna decline this pick for the sole reason that I don't need more picks. Because
I think you've got plenty.
All the picks.
As we get further along, I'm gonna have a bunch of picks and be like, I don't know anybody. But let's see here. We got cornerback, wide receiver. I don't know. Let's look at the running backs. Running back's always a fun position in these late-ish rounds. I know. I could wait. I'm not going to wait a little bit. I have back-to-back picks anyway. I'm going to go with Ray Davis, the running back out of Kentucky. Really impressive at Vanderbilt. Played just like a complete hard-nosed running back. Going to be able to pound the rock whenever you need him to. And he's a fun pick to have. So I'm going to go ahead, go Ray Davis. I know I have back-to-back picks here. I'm not going to go back-to-back running backs, even though that would be fun.
Isaac did.
Yeah.
Let's see what the tight end position is. Something we haven't looked at in a little bit.
There's a reason.
Yeah. I don't know. Do we have any profiles on Eric All? I watched him a little bit at Michigan. I don't know. I don't feel like he fits the problem is with both him and then the Minnesota tight end and even a little bit the Tennessee tight end, but more the Iowa and Minnesota guys. None of them really fit. I feel like what the Bengals want to do. They're just too big, you need a little bit more of a tight end type guy, I feel like. and I don't know. I want to pick a tight end, but none of them work. So why don't we go to cornerback? There's always like some guy in the cornerback position that I feel like maybe safety. I don't know. I'm kind of pulling at straw. Let's see here. Let's go with Jay Stanley. I don't know much about him. I haven't watched that much about him. But what I have heard are good things. I think that he's a solid overall player. Definitely going to be a little bit more of a run stuffer, strong safety type from what I know. So I haven't watched a ton on him. I will preface with that, but I do like what I have heard, even though it may be reaching a little bit with Stanley.
So to touch up on the Ray Davis thing, like you were talking about earlier, the fact that he had over 1,045 rushing yards the year before he went up to Kentucky is impressive as enough because he was playing at Vanderbilt when he did it. And then when he went to Kentucky, everyone thought that Kentucky was going to be like the power that could probably knock off Georgia in the SEC East. A lot of us were like, there's no way. But a lot of people legitimately thought this, but Devin Leary turned out to be kind of a lemon, if you will.
He never was the same after that shoulder injury.
Yeah. But Ray Davis pretty much put on a show while he was at Kentucky. And, you know, I just have to commend you on that. So,
yeah. Well, I'm going to interrupt for a second to welcome in Isaac from Fun Football Podcast. He's here with us now. How's it going?
Oh, welcome back.
I just did like probably 200 rows having to, oh my gosh. Oh, and we're live on this one. I forgot we were live.
Yeah,
I just built a trampoline and we had to do it tonight because her dad is a trucker and the kid's birthday is next Sunday. So we wanted to have it assembled so she can play it on it Monday when it's warm out. So the kiddo wanted to go do stuff. We did tax this morning. She wanted to do stuff. We didn't get home till like, I don't know, almost 6. It's dark by 7, and we were just trying to assemble as much as we can. We got the net on it. I've never been late for a show. I feel so bad. But
you're good.
It was dad duty time. So man, my arms, like I can barely lift them, and they're gonna be so sore. I worked out yesterday too, but the amount of I just had to do so many rows. It was like with a tool that was really cool. I had to like go like this, like just keep pulling back repeatedly to get all the springs in. We got the net on it with all the springs. It was wow. So I just got to see the last couple of minutes, but oh my gosh. It's nice to meet you guys. Well, it's nice to meet you, football expert, for the first time. So
yeah, definitely. Likewise.
I'd like to do another one this weekend if we can. Sorry, I missed out on a lot of this, but
no, you're good. We'll let you pick up with the Browns, and I know you wanted the Bengals because of the.
No, you're good. You're good. I'll just pivot.
I'll tell you what. I'll have I'll be doing a Bengals mock draft sometime up shortly. I'll definitely have you on for that one.
Yeah, I'm actually free. The kiddo's gone with. I'm stepdad. She's gone with her dad tomorrow, so I could I'd like to do maybe one tomorrow. We'll talk about it after. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So let me pull up some Browns stuff. I just pulled up Bengals, but it's all good. No worries. You're good. It's fine.
So,
I don't mind.
So Isaac, just to show you, if you look at the screen right now, you basically see what we already picked for you. We got Michael Hall Jr., Jamari Trash, Braylon Allen, and Thrice.
It's a good name. Reminds me of the receiver for, I don't know if it's the same name, but for the Eagles in the 2000s. Yeah. Oh, Braylon Allen. Hey, you knew this was for me. That's what I picked with the Packers.
Well,
okay, what round are we in here?
Like the first couple picks that I've done and everything, I would hear, yeah, that's a pretty good pick. So when I did Braylon Allen for this, I heard nothing. Like it was just like crickets. I was like,
honestly, I think he has a chance to be good. I really do. I've been watching some tape on him. So we'll see. I hope, just because I think he's a target for the Packers. I really do.
The thing I worry about with him is you look at the lifespan of running backs and you look at the usage he got in college. It was insane. Like I mean, he's basically 2 years into the NFL with the usage he got in college, and that's what worries me with him a little bit.
Yeah.
Same thing with John.
No, it does. So you guys are in round 5. Dang, I missed most of this. Yeah, I want to do another one soon with y'all. Okay. Well,
if it makes you feel better, their first pick was like in the 3rd round.
Yeah, this was an easy one. Okay, so you went
didn't miss much with them.
So he went defensive tackle, receiver, running back, linebacker. They need a tackle. Can I just see all overall? Okay, wait. Wingo's available? Let me take a look. Go to overall.
Well,
Ooh, defensive tackle. Running back. Interesting. Ooh, interesting.
and
Let me
these
see
are all
offensive
you picked
tackles.
for your offensive tackles. All right.
Yeah, I remember this from the last one. I just want to see who's available. I remember Goncalves from the last draft for Pittsburgh. Oh, I like Javen Foster though. I've actually read a little bit about him. I'll go Matt Goncalves. Is how do you say his name? Yeah, Goncalves. Okay, yeah, I'll go Goncalves. I
Whatever
almost
you
went
want to call
Foster.
it.
I almost did it. I'm reading on a tiny little screen. I'm not on a computer.
Yeah.
So I almost did this on the computer. I've actually recorded a couple, but it's a work one and the camera isn't as good as my phone. So I played around with some pre-records last night. So okay, thanks.
All right. So I'll just decline all the trades for video purposes. We're already pushing 50. So here with the Baltimore Ravens, I'm going Javon Foster. I was going whoever you didn't take on that last one. So I'll go Foster. I like him as well. I think he's a good offensive tackle, of just a big piece in Missouri's big offensive breakout season this year. So I like Foster a lot in that one. I think he could really help shore up that Ravens offensive line a little bit at the tackle position.
Yeah. Lincoln, I don't know what you're talking about. I think we're just getting started here with the Bengals.
Yeah, I know.
If you want to go to all real quickly, you know what? Let's go to QB. We'll look at the QBs real quickly.
Here it comes. The Sam
There he
Hartman.
is. There he is.
There he is.
So even though I really want to take Sam Hartman, I really, really want to. I am going to go with, if you want to go back to either all or defensive tackle, I'm going to be taking Keith Randolph Jr., the defensive tackle out of Illinois. Little bit of a disappointing year from him, I will be honest. Lincoln knows this. I had a really bad pick in the way too early mock drafts that we are not mock drafts.
Top 10
college football preview. I had Illinois at number 10 way too early this season. That was a mistake. I really thought both him and Newton were going to have great years. Newton did well. Randolph, not so much.
That's the reason he's still available here, honestly.
Yeah. So I like Randolph. I think he had great potential. I think he still does, and that's the reason why I'll take him here at this pick.
All right. You're up again.
I
feel like I'm going to be saying this a lot.
Yeah. Please tell me Sam Hartman's available. If Sam Hartman's available, we're going Sam Hartman.
Ooh.
He's available. So I'll take like 20 seconds to explain the reasoning why Sam Hartman. He is a dude that just simply is going to be a good backup quarterback in the NFL. He's not going to be your starter. He's not. But he has the skills, the traits, and the personality and leadership skills that you need in a backup quarterback. He does, and I said this jokingly at the beginning when you weren't here, Isaac, but the Bengals lost A.J. McCarron because he went to the UFL and stuff like that. So I think like Sam Hartman's is a good fit to be able to fill that kind of spot that you lose with A.J. McCarron. A guy in Sam Hartman that he's going to bring class. He's going to bring the ability to go in and out of the locker room and stuff like that. And he's not going to complain about his starter minutes. And he's going to be he's not going to have a high floor, but he is going to have a pretty he will have a high floor, but a pretty low ceiling. Unlike the two quarterbacks below him and Joe Milton, Jason Bean, one can really pass, one can really run, but they can't do either extremely well, especially Joe Milton. He could throw a ball 100 yards across the field. He just couldn't throw the ball 10 yards in front of him to the right receiver. So
if only they did throw-offs in the NFL.
Yeah.
If they still did that old Pro Bowl skill game, Milton would definitely. Well, I say that I doubt he could land it in between the hashes, though.
All right, so we are going Sam Hartman. You're up again.
Wow. Maybe I shouldn't have done that trade. This is gonna last a little while. Sorry, guys. Let's go tied in. Let's see if anybody's available. I know this doesn't fit, but I'm gonna go Eric All. He has blocking abilities, and he was a solid tight end. I don't love the pick, but you're in the 5th round, maybe 6th round at this point. And I think Eric All kind of he's going to be a good blocking tight end, not a receiving tight end, but he's in the 5th round. Like if you can get like a like the Bears have in man, what's his name? The old Packers tight end.
Mercedes Lewis.
Yeah, if you can get that and just have him in as kind of like we're going to play you at this point and in these moments as a 6 offensive lineman, yeah, it's kind of worth it.
Yeah. And, when you were talking about Joe Milton, my co-host is actually a Tennessee fan, and I rag him all the time about it. It's like you had Joe Milton. So you're getting Eric All from Tight End U.
I can't say much as a Clemson fan because somehow we managed to let that guy beat us, and not only did he beat us, but he looked so good in that game that he was a Heisman contender coming into the next season because of it.
So you're up again.
Yeah. Man, this
You
is.
need a glass of water or something, man? You're like pulling double time.
We're going Tommy Eichenberg. I already drafted a linebacker, but we're going to double up on linebacker because really, honestly, you can't go wrong. Or have I? Or maybe I took that with the Browns. Never mind.
Oh, shit. Sorry. No. That was yeah. There you are.
Yeah, or no, I'm sorry. I meant I took the other linebacker with the Browns. I thought I'd already taken one with the Bengals, but I like Eichenberg on a general playing level, and I think he's just a hard-nosed player. Same goes with like what I said about Sam Hartman. I think that he's just going to be a good player. If anything else, he's going to be a good practice squad guy, and I think a guy that has a chance at making the roster just because he'll be in the right place at the right time.
I like that. Yeah, I was gonna say he pretty much has a nose to the ball, and I was seeing if Proctor was still here, but someone already grabbed him. Let me look. Still looking. Still looking. All right, so what is Med gonna do? All right. Jesus. You know what? No, I can't do it. So the guy from Minnesota that you were talking about earlier, Springer, let me see where he probably got drafted. Yeah. This guy right here, the one that's 6'7", 269 pounds. As soon as you said blocking tight end, I was like, that might be my guy. So he's not, though. But I do know about Jalen Crocker a little bit. And let me see if there's. Oh, God. No, I'm going to go with Jawar Jordan because I liked what he was able to do this year. Yeah, I already picked another running back, I believe, earlier. Oh, no. No, I did not. So I'm definitely going Jawar Jordan now, even though I do have Warren and I have Harris, but Harris has not really been the guy that has really just like killed it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's actually not bad, I guess. No, I'll just reject it. I'm just going to keep my picks. Okay. Let's take a look. Thanks for letting me join late, guys. Appreciate it. Like I said, that's
no
not a
problem.
normal situation. All right. So we're at pick 204. I've got, can I see all their picks really quick? Oh, that's all their picks? Receiver, running
Yep.
back, linebacker, tackle? Okay. They do need a tight end. No, I like Jokey. They could use another one. Hmm. Overall, who's available? We got receiver. Ooh, interesting. Running back. What
Running
else we
back.
got? Or that's not bad. Let's go to overall really quick.
Come on, you got to take a running back for the draft's over. It wouldn't be your draft if you didn't take a running back.
Back to
Okay, I
back.
haven't scouted this kid. I just did that because I think the Packers aren't going to sign they're not going to sign a receiver. So, and they need to let Dylan go. That was the only reason I went so running back heavy.
Yeah.
Although I always like getting rookie running backs. But tell me about Jalen. Tell me about the guy from Holy Cross. Would you guys pick him or Watson? Or that tight end?
I don't know anything.
I haven't scouted this far down yet.
I haven't
The
scouted
only
that far
guy,
down,
yeah,
but
I
do
haven't
know
made it
my
this
prospect.
far. Good.
But
That's the problem is I haven't scouted this far. I'll go position. Let's go the Holy Cross receiver. Honestly, I've only heard a little bit about him. I've scouted first and a lot of second round and into the third, actually into the fourth with the Packers, but I haven't gotten to this guy. So let's give it a shot. Let's go the Holy Cross receiver. They do.
Yeah,
I think they
that's what I
could
was,
definitely could use another receiver.
that's
And
what I
there
was
you
about
go.
to say. I haven't made it that far, but I've heard of him before, so that's who I would go
Am I
with.
up again here?
Yep. So
Okay, well then just for fun.
just to let
That's
you know.
all. Mhm.
Okay.
No, you're good.
I was
What's up?
Okay, so one thing, Joe Milton, I know that they'll probably need a quarterback because they still got Deshaun Watson, and he's just hasn't been that guy. But
Mhm.
if I were you, one of the guys I would actually recommend because he's been kind of a do-all, and this late it's not really that much of a risk. But Jace McKellen from Alabama was actually pretty solid this year. He's more of your dual.
Is this my
He
last
can
pick?
play the backfield. No,
I think
you got one more.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
get another one later, but he could be gone. Oh, show me that running back again. The one you were talking about. Ooh, interesting. Alabama.
Yep.
Ah, heck, what not? We're at pick 207, middle of the sixth round. Let's do it. Let's give it a shot.
He's got his
Oh.
running back.
There you go. It's funny because the other guy went between the picks. I was going to take him next.
Yeah.
So am I up? I'm not up again, right?
This me, right?
Yep.
All
It's been a
right.
minute.
Yeah, it has been, and this is all right. I got one more after this one. Go to safety. They might have him higher up than some of the other sites, and look and see if Kenny Logan Jr. is available. Might have to scroll a little bit. I think he's probably gone though. Yeah, he's gonna be gone. A lot of them have had him farther back. I don't really know why. But if he was still available, you can't pass on him. What is running back looking like? I'm gonna go.
Oh, there's somebody available. I hope
I
you
see someone right too. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "Ooh."
I don't know how he's still there.
Neither do I.
I think I'm gonna go with Cody Schrader here. It was between him and Milton that I was kind of debating on, but I worry with Schrader because he is a little bit smaller than some of your other guys. Again, of course, they don't have his height and weight. I don't have it on me, but
He's
I
like
believe
5'9"
he's
and like 200 pounds, like 188
yeah.
pounds.
He's kind of
tiny.
like Deuce Vaughn type
Yeah.
size. But
Yeah.
he's just so explosive. He breaks tackles so easily. I feel like at that size, he's gonna just slip through so many tackles. Can slip right through the line of scrimmage. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. I think he's gonna be a very good running back. And like y'all said, I don't know how he's still on the board.
Yeah.
I kind of look at him as kind of like a Darren Sproles from back in the day. Someone that is real smallish. He'll definitely be able to contribute on kickoff returns and punt returns. And he is that guy that you would actually stick out there like for, I wouldn't say every other play, but a great change of pace. This is actually probably the steal of the draft right at this point.
Mhm.
Just a Swiss Army knife in the backfield for you. You can do so many things with him.
Yeah, I agree.
And a position the Ravens really need some stability at because they can't keep anyone healthy at running back.
Oh yeah.
What you talking about? They got Dalvin Cook. All right, Bengals.
Let's go. Let's see who's available at edge. I saw somebody, but I doubt they're still here. No, they're gone. There's a guy out of Houston Christian that I like that I thought may have been here, but if you want to scroll down a little bit, actually, no, I know who I'm going to take. Jalen Green, the edge rusher out of James Madison, has been shooting up boards recently. Definitely had a solid past few years and definitely has some talent. And I'm really kind of going who I think is best player available. Even though there's some guys ranked above him, I don't know all the guys that well. I do know Ovi, I can't even say his last name. I've tried to pronounce it when he was at Notre Dame, but it is Ogafu or whatever it is. Jalen Green, good player, and definitely I think his best player available at this point.
So you're going with Jalen Green?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And real quick, Janae, hi. I
was going to say thanks for listening. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else was here. I didn't even know we were going to be live. I didn't know if it was going to be pre-recorded or not. So,
no, there were at one point there were 7 of us, but everyone pretty much is at this point like.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, at one point there, I meant to say something back to him, but I'm also having to switch back and forth.
No, you're good. I got an idea for you. I'm going to pitch at the end of this too.
All right, give me 1 second.
It'll be fun.
All right,
and I apologize for glancing down at the phone a little bit, but currently watching the Clemson basketball game. They're only up 2 with 2 minutes to go, and they need this one.
Pain.
I don't have the remote, and I ran in here so quick. I was going to turn on the dunk contest. I think it's on right now. It's all good.
All right.
What are you going to do? I'll catch the highlights later.
Exactly. If there are any this year.
Let me look at offense.
McClellan surprised me last year. It's one of my favorite weekends. I always have a blast, and I really almost just watch the Saturday night stuff. Last year, I watched all the skills contests, the whole 3-point contest, and that. And this year, they got Steph versus I can't remember who. It's like a 1-on-1 3-point contest. So I just like that. This is when I start getting into NBA.
Serena and Eskew.
Yep, that's it. This is when I start getting more into NBA now. Like I pivot.
Surprised that he's actually that far down, Gaynor, but I don't like any of them. I like Gabriel Murphy.
Good pick.
Thank you.
This late in the draft, for sure. Good pickup.
Yeah, it's all about value at this point.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll have to wait till next year to see who you pick for first round pick.
Yeah, we need to come back and do a recap show. That'd be fun. We come back? It's only a year. We come back and evaluate how we did on these mocks or how the teams did on their drafts. That'd be fun.
Yeah. I'm sure me and Lincoln could look back at last year when we did all these.
Yeah, we did a bunch.
Some of them worked out, some of them didn't.
We'll have to write that down and remember Med has a first round pick in Tampa Bay with the Steelers next year when we do this.
What am I going to do? Probably get another quarterback now playing.
Okay, so is this one me?
Yep.
What are we at?
240.
Okay.
I think I'm done.
Right. Overall, what do we got? Who's the best? Got a linebacker, corner.
Actually, I see one that I would actually take a swing at.
Which one?
If it's the person I'm thinking of, and of course it ain't. I don't know if it's DeBerry, but the Texas A&M actually has a 6'3" corner that's in the draft right for this year. And this
I also like this name, Isaac Rex. I almost just want to take him for that. That's legit.
Isaac, he's a king.
So is it Bradley? Or is he already gone?
There's Carter Bradley.
DeBerry 6'1", 180.
It's not him, man. Unfortunately, I haven't scouted this far down. I'm gonna go by position what I know the Browns need, because I know that. They do need a tight end, ironically, in my opinion. They need to get a second one, but they also have some other holes.
Ooh.
Just for fun, let's just do it. Let's pick Isaac Rex. That's kind of fun. They do need a tight end though, so it's based on more need. I like Joku, but they need some depth there, so I'm gonna go tight end.
I do see one, but I want to see if the guys actually go for that particular person. I know Link already knows who I looked at. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "Ooh."
I think I may know.
Oh, am I up?
but-
Sorry, I was.
No,
I was
you're
looking
good.
at I was
Oh, no,
looking this.
you
I
are
was
up.
trying to find that guy for you.
Look at you being a
Let's
team
see.
player.
I know I already took one edge back with 130, but I think this guy has. I mean, he's got talent for this late in the draft at the edge rusher position, and I'm going with Nelson Caesar, the edge from
That's what I
Houston.
thought.
Again, this is a guy. I mean, he's 6'2", 248. He's got good speed. And he's just a guy who, yeah, you're gonna have to develop him probably a year, maybe even 2 or 3, but if you're drafting him at 247 and he's a guy that eventually in his career is gonna be a solid rotational piece at edge rusher for you, maybe even a consistent solid starter for you, you can't pass him up. So I'm going with Nelson Caesar here at 247. Cap off my draft.
So I get one more pick.
Mhm.
Let's go to all here. Woof. Go to tight end. I did see one guy that I liked in college. I have no idea whether the game would translate to the NFL. But Mason Fairchild, he played pretty well at Kansas. And he's definitely much more of a receiving tight end than Eric All is. So that definitely is beneficial. So I think I'm going to go with Mason Fairchild to cap this off, mostly because he's one of the few names I know left that are left.
Correct me if I'm wrong, which I might be. Is he the guy that caught the 2-point conversion to beat Texas for Kansas?
Yeah.
That was their first Big 12 win in 10 years.
Yeah, I still remember watching that game with you when we were up until like midnight. And
I know,
then
out in the treehouse.
yeah, it was that, and then I think we stayed up and watched like Nevada and San Diego State play after that.
That was back. We were really high on Carson Strong coming into the draft, and he came back for
a couple weeks ago.
He came back for another year in college, and that's killed him. He would have been a 3rd-round pick. Probably wouldn't have panned out to be anything, but would have got some more money. And he came back for another year of college, and he screwed his whole career doing that.
Yeah.
All right.
I was back the first year of our college football roundup podcast.
Yep.
That's why we were up watching it. We had I picked Nevada. You picked, I think, San Diego State. Great game.
Yeah,
back
I
when they
think I
had
got the dub.
Ariza and all those guys. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one player I actually was looking at that I was surprised was still up there was Trey Knox from South Carolina.
Yeah, honestly, I probably should have went with him with Baltimore. Now that I think of it, with Andrews being more injury prone and getting up there a little bit in age, probably should have went with Knox. I'll just sign him as a UDFA
right now too. Yeah.
Yeah. Do we start signing UDFAs?
All right. Well, that pretty much does it for this episode. We're clocking in at 1:10, so we were figuring it to be about 45 minutes. So if you're still there, Janae, thank you for hanging with us. We have some. Yeah, no, I agree with that. So we're done. Everyone, if you want to do a plug, go ahead.
Yeah, just make sure everybody checks out the Podcast Boys Network, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, and check us all out and help us hit all of our goals. And Yeah, we enjoyed having everybody hang around. I know it was a long episode, but appreciate everybody that tuned in and stayed for the majority of the time.
Yeah, definitely. And I was excited to have this first time episode and stuff like that. And definitely good to have a fellow Bears fan, and then also to be able to have our distant rivals, hopefully in the future and stuff like that. So, and the Packers fans. So it's nice to have it pretty evened out here. 2 Packers, 2 Bears.
Yeah, that's what's
It's kind of cool. I want to say thanks to everybody for checking out the mock draft we did. It's over 2,000 views, which is just nuts to have that high up one on YouTube. It's pretty sweet. That NFC North mock. I hope we can do some more divisional ones. Sorry I was so late, but I had fun with you guys, and hope we can do another one soon. So yeah, I'm going to be definitely doing a Packers one very soon. But check out Fun Football Podcast and check out Football Expert, American Football Network, Shots from the Sideline, and Mine and Shots Show, Blitz, When the Blitz Hits a Fan, all on the Podcast Boys Network. Thanks, guys.
Yep. And I'll do it for right now. Y'all have a wonderful evening, and we'll yell at you later.